Where are the others? Can we start? Ask others also to come. Otherwise, it's going to take a lot of time. So today we will be talking about building collaborative networks and conflict management. Right? This is our topic today. And we are going to see how networking is important when it comes to working as a team. Now, last week, if you can remember, we talked about collaboration and teamwork. So this is also similar, but we are looking into internal networking as well as external networking. Right? So we'll see how important it is to build collaborations within the company as well as externally among other companies as well. I think my students who are joining online can hear me clearly. Am I right? Can you hear me clearly? Yes? Surya and Sajani, Navasena, can all of you hear me clearly? If not, yes, just unmute your mic. Okay, thank you. And I believe you all can see the screen that I have shared with you, right? So students, by the end of this session, you should be able to identify the importance of external and internal networking, right? So you have to see why internal and external networking is important when you are following a career, right? Recognize different techniques available in developing effective networks. Improve the skills of building networks using digital platforms. Now, we cannot just stay behind and, do things that have been happening from the past. We, of course, have to move with digital platforms. So we are going to see how we could improve our skills when it comes to building networks. Using digital platforms. How are we going to use these digital platforms in order to improve the networking? Right? Okay. Now, in this one, first we are going to see what networking is. Now, if you have noticed, if you watched the convocation last year, our president, Mr. Heshana, in his speech, that convocation, in his speech, he highlighted that it is essential the students improve their skills in networking. Okay, if you have the chance to watch his speech, you see that it is very important. Unlike it was few years back, now it's really important. It's very important when it comes to networking. It's mandatory, right? So let's see what we mean by networking in the business context. Here we are not looking at in the perspective of ICT. We are looking in the perspective of business, right? What is networking? Networking refers to the process of building and maintaining professional relationships that can help individuals and organizations achieve their goals. That is what we mean by networking, right? So the process of building relationships, both internally as well as externally. We can't work alone as one individual. You must create these relationships among your colleagues as well as other organizations when it comes to working, right? So that is what you mean by networking. This typically involves interacting with others in the same industry, right? It could be in the same industry that you are related to or related sectors, sharing information, resources, and opportunities. It doesn't have to be necessarily in the same field, right? You may meet people from other industries as well. So networking with them is also important. Right now, when you go to your field, most of the time, more than the accountants, you may meet other people who are out of your field. So just because they don't belong to your network, it doesn't mean that you should not engage in networking with them. You have to, right? So here, this typically involves interacting with others in the same industry or related sectors, sharing information, resources, and opportunities. You share. Why do we network with them? In order to share information, to share resources with them, right? And also opportunities. Now, suppose I will give you an example in my coming slides about this, right? Networking is crucial for career development. Remember, students, most of the time, the trend today is that companies recruit employees if somebody recommends. Rather than, of course, they advertise their job opportunities, all that in the website. That is true. But if somebody recommends, there is a high possibility of recruiting those recommendations rather than taking employees from outside. Why is that? Because that is the person who recommends them to the company. How can you get those recommendations from networking? මොකද හැමතිස්සෙම අපේ නෑදෑයෝ ඒගොල්ලෝ ගන්නවා හැමතැනම නැහැ. So how do you get those recommendations? Only from networking. They would say, this person, I know he worked in this place and he was a very good employee. So that is the recommendation they give you when you go for another job. Do you understand? So career development happens in that way. That is why networking is important. And at the same time, remember, if you have some black marks or, things like that during your working period in that particular organization, then what will happen? Same recommendation will go to the others. Do you understand? He was like this when he was working. So therefore, I'm not going to recommend him or her for this organization. That's what they would say. So you have to be very careful and you have to understand how important networking is. Right? So networking is crucial for career development, business growth, and the exchange of ideas and expertise. Of course, when you know people from other fields, when you know people from your own field, you learn a lot from them. There are resources for you to learn. Right? So here, exchange of ideas and expertise. Key aspects of networking in business include: why is it important to network? We'll see why that is important. Building connections. Now here, I have elaboratively given you all these things, right? You should be able to elaborate these points, at least 3 of them, if I ask you a question based on networking. Do you understand? So here, key aspects of networking in business include building connections. Right? You are able to build connections with one another. Network of such as colleagues, industry leaders, clients, suppliers, and other professionals. Once you start networking, you will understand how important those other people are for you to grow in the field. Without the support of others. Do you understand? You need help of others. You need the expertise of others. You need advisors. You need directions from others. In order for those things to happen, networking is necessary. Right? So here, building connections. In order to have connections, we need networking. Creating a network of contacts such as colleagues, industry leaders, clients, suppliers, and other professionals. These relationships can lead to collaborations, partnerships or new business opportunities as well. Sometimes they may invite you for a business opportunity, right? Because they know you very well, they might invite you. So that is once again an opportunity for you. And then information sharing. Networking provides opportunities to exchange valuable insights about industry trends, market conditions, and best practices, helping businesses stay informed and competitive. So, normally, when you engage in your particular occupation, right, most of the time you learn about new trends as a result of networking. What are the new trends now? For an example, when it comes to my field, I learn about new trends on education from my colleagues, from the people that I have been knowing from a very long time. They introduce, okay, these are new trends that we apply when it comes to teaching English to students, right? So all that happens as a result of networking. You learn new trends of the field and also market conditions. Now here I have focused only on the business context, right? To your context, I have made this specifically, and then best practices. How things should be done is explained very clearly when you network with others. Helping businesses stay informed and competitive. You will be informed about new trends and all these conditions, best practices when you network well with others. Next one, career development. I'll give you a very good example for career development, right? Networking allows individuals to connect with mentors, potential employers, or people who can help advance their careers, whether through job offers, promotions, or valuable career advice. So when you get to know new people, students, right? Sometimes those people will affect on a later date for a job opportunity. Okay, they will recommend you for some kind of a job for a vacancy and also promotions. They may recommend you when you network internally. Internal means within your company. So the managers, the relevant authorities, they may recommend you and you will be qualified for these promotions. When you network internally. But suppose at the same time, if they recognize you as a person who is very introverted, who doesn't speak with anyone, who is not really good at team working, right? What will happen? Will they recommend you for these benefits? No. That's why networking is important, both internally and externally, right? And valuable career advice, collaborations, and partnerships. Through networking, businesses can find partners, investors, or collaborators for joint ventures, projects, and investments. Also, social media and professional platforms. In modern business, networking often happens on platforms like LinkedIn, Twitter, or industry-specific forums. LinkedIn is a very good way of networking with role models or popular and well-recognized people of your field, right? So LinkedIn, Twitter, or industry-specific forums where professionals can connect, share, and engage. So if you follow them, if you connect with them in LinkedIn, you will get so many insightful information from these kind of people. Right? So this is how you would network with them using digital platforms, professional social media and professional platforms. Can you remember in one of my objectives, I explained to you how to network using digital platforms? So this is one. These are some of the ways that you can network with one another physically, either internally or externally. And then, why internal networking is important? What do you mean by internal? First and foremost, what do you mean by internal networking? Internal networking refers to the process of building relationships within one's own organization, that is within your company. Building relationships within your own company is known as internal networking. It involves connecting with colleagues, managers, team members, and other departments to foster collaboration, improve communication, and support career growth. Why is this important? Internal networking is important because it helps you to foster collaboration. We talked about collaboration last week, right? Improve communication. You can communicate with them effectively when you network. අපි ගන්න කෙනෙක් communicate කරන්න බැරි ගන්න කෙනෙක් easy communicate. So that is why it improves communication. Support career growth. So people within our company can recommend you for something better. Your mentors, your CEOs, they may recommend you for other job opportunities. Do you understand? That's why internal networking is important. Internal networking matters in a business environment because improved collaboration and teamwork. So once again, I'm just repeating I'm explaining what I explained here in point form. Improved collaboration and teamwork. Internal networking helps break down silos within an organization. That means that walls of an organization can be broken down as a result of networking, right? By building relationships across different departments or teams, employees can collaborate more effectively, share knowledge, and work together on projects. This enhances problem solving, innovation, and the overall productivity of the organization. It doesn't only benefit you students, remember, it benefits the company as well. Right? It's not only that you benefit from internal networking, your company also benefits from your internal network. Career advancement and growth. Building strong relationships with colleagues and managers can open doors for career development. Internal networking helps employees gain visibility. What do you mean by visibility? It means now when you engage your colleagues at your company, they will see who you are. That you are always engaging with extracurricular activities even at the company. Right? You are always there to help and support others. So you get visibility. You get noticed. That is important. That is notice right? While helping others, while helping others to get their things done, you can get your visibility as a result of networking, right? So get visibility, which can lead to opportunities for promotions, raises, and leadership roles. Of course, when others see you as a very good leader who can lead a team, you will be given responsibility. Or promotions, leadership opportunities. Knowing that you are able to lead a team without showing that you are able to lead a team, how can they assign you with those kind of roles? Do you understand? So that is why networking is important. When you connect with key decision makers within your organization, you are more likely to be considered for career advancement and opportunities. So when you especially network with managers, when you especially network with the people who take decisions at your company, you can gain more opportunities for you to develop in your career. Do you understand? After working hard you have to show them that you have done something. Right? It's not that you have to keep quiet and stay at a corner. Right? You have to be visible for them to identify someone who is contributing to the betterment of the company. One is visibility and recognition. So this is what I told you, visibility. They get to see you, right? They recognize you. Okay, he is the person who did this on that day, right? So by actively engaging with others within your company, you increase your visibility and can gain recognition for your contributions. This can increase the organization and enhance your professional reputation. Being known as someone who connects and collaborates effectively can make you go to person for others seeking help or advice. Right? Next one, better understanding of organizational culture. Suppose you join a new company, right? You join a new company and then you do not network with other people. You are just seated at a corner. You don't tend to talk with others. As long as you network with them, you will learn so many cultures that happens within the organization. But if you keep quiet and seated at a corner, leave by 5 o'clock once the work is done, and you do not network with anybody, students, remember, you will never learn the culture of that organization. Culture එකක් කියන organization එකක අපි ඉගෙන ගන්නෙම from our colleagues as a result of networking. ඒක අපිට කියන්නේ කොහොම කරන්න එපා මෙහෙම තමයි කරන්න ඕන කියන එක. They are the ones who guide us once we join a new company. So in order to understand these organizational cultures, it's important to network internally, right? Within the staff of your company. And then problem solving and conflict resolution. What is that? Internal networks provide an avenue for employees to resolve issues or conflicts that arise in the workplace. By having established relationships with colleagues, it becomes easier to discuss challenges. Now, when you go through a challenge at the working place, when you have somebody that you are not very much familiar with, students, it's very difficult to solve the challenge. Why? Because they are not familiar with you, you don't know who they are, and you have not talked to them, you don't know what they like and what they dislike. But if you know them, it's going to be very easy to solve those problems. Do you understand conflict resolution is important, right? You will be able to easily engage in problem solving and conflict resolution if you are good at networking internally, right? So here, by having established relationships with colleagues, it becomes easier to discuss challenges, identify solutions, and work through misunderstandings. It's very easy to communicate because you know them. If you don't know them, then of course there are going to be little bits of gaps among you, right? Among yourselves. A strong network of trusted individuals within the company can help to facilitate open dialogue and quicker resolution of problems. You can easily solve these problems if you engage internally with them. Right? Okay. Now we are looking at external networking. Now, what have we been discussing all this time? We have been talking about networking. This is what we have been talking about. We paid attention to what networking is initially, and then we looked at internal networking and the importance of internal networking. Why internal networking is important. All right. Okay. Now, we are looking at external networking. Importance of external networking. What is external networking important? Why should we network with people outside our organization? Why? So that is what we are going to look at here. External networking is the process of building relationships outside of one's own organization. Okay, did you understand that? Building relationships outside of one's own organization plays a critical role in business success, right? It plays a very huge role when it comes to the success of your business. It involves engaging with people from different companies, industries, and sectors, and offers a range of benefits for both individuals and organizations. Not only you benefit from this external networking, the company that you work for also benefits from this external networking, right? So, what are they? These could include new business partnerships, joint ventures, investment opportunities, or collaborations that would be possible if you only relied on internal connections. So if you only rely on internal connections, students, you won't get these benefits. Only as a result of external networking, you will be able to gain these opportunities and benefits. Like one, partnerships, joint ventures, investment opportunities, or collaborations can take place. Next one, business growth and expansion. You can expand and help your business to grow as a result of external networking. External networking is crucial for expanding your business, especially when entering new markets or targets, new markets or targeting new customer bases. By building connections with suppliers, potential clients, and other key industry players, businesses can discover new channels for growth, distribution, and market development. So, as a result of building relationships with people outside your organization, what can you get? You can get business growth and expansion. You are able to make your business grow and expand. All right. And then access to expertise and resources. Sometimes within your organization, you will not get the expertise that you get as a result of external networking. ආයතනයේ ඇතුලේ තියෙන expertise එකට වැඩි සමහර විට exposure එකක් ඔයාට ආයතනයෙන් පිට ලබා ගන්න පුළුවන්. As a result of external networking, you will meet a lot of people like that. Mentors, experts of the field, right? So here, access to experts and resources. External networking often provides access to broad pool of expertise. There's a pool of expertise that you can expose yourself to as a result of external networking. Organization the number is limited. But when you network external, especially using digital platforms, the knowledge you get is massive. Right? So that's why it's important. Access to expertise and resources. So external networking often provides access to a broad pool of expertise, resources, and specialized knowledge. For businesses now, some people you may meet who are experts in IFRS, who are experts in tax advisory. There could be so many people who are experts to those fields. So sometimes you may not find such people within your company. External networking will allow you to engage with such people. And then for businesses, this can mean finding the right consultants, mentors, or talent to help overcome challenges or seize new opportunities. You can gain new opportunities as a result of external networking. Individuals can also benefit from the guidance and mentorship of others who have more experience or different skill sets. They may have different skill sets than you or than the people that you meet regularly. They may have different skill sets than the people you meet every day. So, engaging with them, networking with them will allow you to improve your expertise on the relevant field. Next one, diversification of perspectives. දැන් අපි ආයතන ගත්තොත් ඒ ආයතනේ සමහර වෙලාවට තියෙන්න පුළුවන් එකම perspective එකක්. right? එකම දැක්මක් විතරයි තියෙන්නේ. But when you network externally, you will see many perspectives of these organizations, right? Not limited only to your organization, but when you take other organizations, you may see how diversified their perspectives are. Okay, so interacting with professionals from diverse backgrounds and industries offers a broad perspective on problem solving, decision making, and strategy. ආයතනයක් ඇතුළත ගත්තහම ළමයි සමහර විට එකම එක විදිහට තමයි හැම ප්‍රශ්නයක්ම එහෙම නැත්නම් එක වගේ ප්‍රශ්න විසඳෙන්නේ. හැබැයි ඕගොල්ලෝ වෙන තැනකින් examples දැක්කොත් ඕගොල්ලන්ට හිතෙන්න පුළුවන් okay this kind of a solution can be applied to this situation, right? So thinking, for you to think like that, you have to network external. Without network like that, why? Because you will be limited only to your organization, your company. But it is essential. Suppose sometimes in LinkedIn, you may have watched a video related to some kind of issue or some related to some kind of situation. That would lead you to take decisions in real life. Do you get my point? So networking is very important, especially external networking. Both are important in the same manner. So diversification of perspectives, you will start to see different sides of perspectives. Perspective means the way how you see something. Your point of view could be diverse, not only one. Okay, there's flexibility in you. Exposure to different viewpoints helps businesses and individuals avoid tunnel vision. What do you mean by tunnel vision? Tunnel vision කියන්නේ මොකද? Tunnel කියන්නේ මොකද? එකම විදිහට යන එකක් නේ. මොකද tunnel කියන්නේ බින්ගේට නේද? බින්ගේටනේ tunnel කියන්නේ. එතකොට ඒ tunnel කියන එක එකම විදිහට තියෙන්නේ. So when you network externally, you will be able to avoid tunnel perceptions. Do you get my point? So decision making, exposure to different viewpoints helps businesses and individuals avoid tunnel vision and make more well-rounded, informed choices. Your choices will be very good. Your choices will be well-rounded with a lot of backed information, right? You may have good reasons to take those decisions. So, job opportunities and career advancement. How will external network help you with job opportunities and career advancement? අපි හිතනවා හැමතිස්සෙම CV එක දාපු ගමන් හරි අපිව එන්න කියයි එහෙම කියලා. එහෙම හිතන්න එපා, right? Always remember අපි හිතනවා සමහරවිට CV එක දැම්මම මේ recruiters ලාට කතා කරන්නේ නැහැ කියලා. If it is a good company, they always take recommendations from your references. Do you understand? They don't recruit people who don't have recommendations. They always go for recommendations. So they at least call the relevant people who are mentioned. Sometimes they don't call the references. They suppose you have mentioned, I have worked in this place from this year to this year. They will call those authorities because they know them, right? come on, they are anyway externally networked, right? So they will contact them. They also might have people who know them in those companies. They will call them and ask about you. So if you have good records, if you have clear records, of course it will help you to advance in your career. Okay, that's how it will help you to advance in your career. So for individuals, external networking is a powerful tool for career growth. Connecting with people in your field or in related industries can lead to job offers, promotions, or invitations to work on interesting projects. External networks often provide leads and referrals that are not advertised publicly. There are some companies, I have seen some companies and even some positions. Some are positions වලට ඒගොල්ලෝ ගන්න recommendations අනුව විතරයි. Right? They don't advertise anywhere. They just recruit them on recommendations. I have seen such companies. So, if you are good at externally networking, there will be recommendations for you. Okay, they will say this person is good. We'll ask him or her whether they can do this job. Right? So that is an important opportunity that you get as a result of networking. Right. We'll have a look at this video now. Let me just give 1 minute.
Expanding your network. You are surrounded right now by unlimited opportunities disguised as insurmountable problems. Brian Tracy. Have you ever heard the saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know? Networking is ultra important in today's business world. In order to succeed, you must rely on others. The right people can always help you. We live in a society, and as a member of that society, it's likely that every change in your life is strongly influenced by other people in some way. The courses you take in school that shape your career are often the instigation of a friend or counselor. The books you read, the tapes you listen to, and the seminars you attend are almost invariably the result of a suggestion from someone you respect. The occupation you select, the job you take, and the key steps in your career are largely determined by the people you meet and talk to at those critical decision points in your life. In fact, at every crossroad in your life, there's usually someone standing there pointing you in one direction or another. According to the law of probabilities, the greater number of people you network with who can help you at any given time, the more likely it is that you will know the right person at the right time and in the right place to give you the help you need to move ahead more rapidly in your life. The more people you know, the more doors of opportunity will be open to you and the more sound advice you will get in making the important decisions that shape your life. When you develop a positive reference group, you begin to become a member of the in crowd at your level of business. The starting point in the process is to develop a deliberate and systematic approach to networking throughout your career. People like to do business with people they know. They like to socialize and interact with people with whom they are familiar with, and they like to recommend people that they trust. Fully 85% of the best jobs in America are filled as a result of a third-party recommendation. The best networkers are never unemployed for very long. One of the biggest mistakes that people make when they begin networking is scattering their time and energy indiscriminately and spending their time with people who can be of no help at all. Even if they attend organization meetings, they often end up associating with people who are neither particularly ambitious or well-connected. When you network, you must be perfectly selfish. You want to become all you can over the course of your career. You want to rise as far as you can. Any success you could ever desire will require the active involvement and help of lots of other people. Your job is to focus your energies and attention on meeting the people who can help you, and the only way you can do this is by staying away from the people who cannot help you at all. When you network, your aim is to meet people who are going places in their lives. You want to meet people who are ahead of you in their careers and their organizations. You want to meet people you can look up to with pride. You want to meet people who can be friends, guides, and mentors. You want to think ahead and meet you move into your ideal future more readily. For this reason, you must sort people into categories: helpful versus non-helpful, ambitious versus non-ambitious, going somewhere versus going nowhere. Remember, your choice of a reference group in your networking will determine the success of the process. You begin your networking process at your place of work. Look around and identify the top people in your organization. Make these people your role models and pattern yourself after them. One of the best ways to start networking is to go to someone you admire and ask for his or her advice. Don't be a pest. Don't tie up several hours of their time. Initially, you should ask only for a few minutes, and you should have 2 or 3 specific questions. When you talk to a successful person, ask questions like, what do you think the most important quality or attribute that has contributed to your success? And what one piece of advice would you give someone like me who wants to be as successful as you someday? You could also ask, can you recommend a particular book or training program that would help me move along rapidly in my career? There's a law of incremental commitment in networking. It says that people become committed to helping you or associating with you little by little over time. In some cases, the chemistry won't be right, and the person with whom you want to network with will really not be interested in networking with you. Don't take this personally. People get into or out of networking for 1,000 reasons. However, if there's good chemistry, if you like the person and the person likes you, be patient and bide your time. Don't rush or hurry, just let the networking relationship unfold without over-eagerness on your part. If you try to go too fast, you might scare people away. Whenever you do something nice or helpful for others, they feel a sense of obligation. They feel like they owe you one. They have a deep subconscious need to pay you back until they no longer feel obligated to you. The more things you do for people without expectation of return, the more they feel obligated to help you when the time comes. We have moved from an age of go-getter to the age of go-giver. A go-giver is a person who practices the law of sowing and reaping. He or she is always looking for opportunities to sow, knowing that reaping is not the result of chance. You will find that successful people are always looking for opportunities to help others. Unsuccessful people are always asking, what's in it for me? Whatever your job or occupation, there are trade and industry associations, business associations, and service clubs that you can join. Excellent networkers are among the best known and most respected people in the community. To reach that status, they followed a simple formula. They carefully identified the clubs and associations whose members they can help and support, and who can help and support them in return. And then they joined and participated. You are determined to make your mark, and you do this by jumping wholeheartedly into voluntary activities that move the association ahead. And the key people will be watching and evaluating you. The more favorable attention you attract, the more people will be willing to help you when you need them. Networking fulfills one of your deepest subconscious needs. Getting to know people and being known by them. It fulfills your need for social interaction and for the establishing of friendly relationships. It broadens your perspective and opens doors of opportunity for you. It increases the number of people who know and respect you. It makes you feel more in control of your career. And it can be one of the most exciting and fulfilling experiences of your life. Now we'd love to hear from you. So our question today is, what are you going to do to expand your network? Leave a comment below and we'll be sure to follow up.
What's the time? What's the time now? We're out here. It's 4 o'clock. Seriously. Don't come after 3:30, don't come. Huh? 4 o'clock, you can't take a break until 4 o'clock, my child. Like you just take your own time and have a fun time and then come to the class. What is the respect you are giving to the lecturer? You just come here and just have a jolly time and attendance mark කරන්න වෙන දෙයකට නෙමෙයි. Don't be like that. Just give some respect to the lecturer. Right? What's the respect you are giving to them? At least you should have informed me if you are getting late. I inform when I get late. Right? Don't be like that, students. When you become seniors, don't forget the virtues in your life. Don't forget the good qualities in your life. Seniors වෙනකොට qualities අවතක කරන්න එපා. එන්න ඔයගොල්ලෝ හොඳ වෙන්න ඕනේ. Shape up වෙන්න ඕනේ. This is what you learn under skills development. Excuse කරලා ගන්න. කඩාගෙන බින්දගෙන ආවා. දැනබඩ ගත්තා. එක්කෙනෙක් දෙන්නෙක් කියන්න. එහෙමද ඔයගොල්ලෝ හැසිරෙන්නේ? What do you learn from my subject? I have been teaching you in the first semester also. ඒක බෑ තමයි. එයා ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕගොල්ලෝ. කනට හැසිරෙන්න ඉගෙන ගන්න. It doesn't matter if the lecture turns up. You have to be there at least 15 minutes late. Come on, it's 1 hour late. Just wasting my time. I don't want to see this again. If you need a break, just take 15 minutes. Understandable. ඒක මට තේරෙනවා. විනාඩි 15ක් කමක් නැහැ. 3යි 15කට එන්න. ඕගොල්ලෝ 6ට යන්නත් ඉල්ලනවා. පන්තියට එන්න 4ට. ඕගොල්ලෝ හිතන්නේ. Very bad. Cannot approve what you did today. Right. Now, we have been discussing about the importance of external networking and internal networking. Now, in that video, what did it tell you, students? I think I chose that video specifically because it gave subtitles as well, right? It told you, the video explained to you the importance of internal and external networking, isn't it? It explained to you how you will be able to grow in your field as a result of networking, right? How people will start to trust you as a result of networking. How people will offer you with job opportunities, how people will recognize you as a person as a result of networking. And at the same time, you will be recognized as a person who cannot be recommended as a result of networking. Remember that also, there are both sides. So you have to make sure that the way that you network with people should be very positive. Okay? And you have to understand why networking is important. When it comes to networking, you have to be selfish, right? What does that mean? It means that when you associate people in order to grow your career or build up your career, you have to make sure that you associate people who will bring some benefit to you in your career. This is not, I'm asking you to be selfish when it comes to relationships, but in order to develop your career, while working hard to achieve your goals, make sure, students, you should have a very good network. I will tell you one example. There's one colleague of mine that I have been knowing for a very long time. He's such a nice person, very introverted, works really hard, but what he does is he comes at 8:30 and then leaves by 4 or 5 or whatever it is. He works during the working hours, works so hard, but nobody recognizes him. Why is that? Because he's very introverted. Nobody knows what he does. He just do his work and goes. Do you understand? Well, that will not pave you any way to develop your career. If you are working towards something, just working as one individual is not going to work. What should you do then? You have to network. Do you understand? You have to network with the people who can help you to grow. You have to engage in extracurricular activities within your company and also engage in voluntary work among other in order to perform as a very good employee. Doing something 8 to 5 is not sufficient. Right? So that's why networking is important. Now look at this one. Different techniques available in developing effective networks. What are the techniques that you can apply in order to develop effective networking skills? Developing effective networks requires a combination of strategies, skills, and techniques. Whether you are focusing on external networking with people outside your organization, as we discussed, or internal networking within your organization, adopting the right techniques is crucial to build meaningful, lasting relationships. So you have to just associate with people who won't do this, right? There are techniques that you have to follow in order to maximize this networking process. නිකං කට්ටියත් එක්ක කතා කරන එකවත් ඒගොල්ලෝ කරන ඒවා බලන් ඉන්න එකවත් නෙමෙයි. There are techniques that you have to follow in order to maximize the networking process. What are they? Attend industry events and conferences. That is important, right? Engage in industry events and also conferences. Sometimes this could be very voluntary without any payment. It's okay. Just go for it and see how it happens. Sometimes you might not benefit much, but it's okay. For your career growth, sometimes that is important. You will get to know many people if you attend such conferences. Conferences, seminars, and webinars. Attend industry events to meet others in your field. CA cannot free of charge. කරන webinars එහෙම තියෙනවා. ඕගොල්ලෝගේ subjects වලට අදාළ ඒවා. If you can watch them at least online, right? Engage in such webinars which are given to you free of charge. Just spare some time and watch them, attend them, right? Yesterday also we had one webinar. I can't remember the topic of that. Actually, there were very number of attendees for that. So conferences, seminars, and webinars. Attend industry events to meet others in your field. These events allow you to network face to face. අපි අඳුර තරමේ මිනිස්සු කවුද කියලාවත් ළමයි අඳුර ගන්නවා මේ වගේ conferences වලට ගිහම. නැත්නම් අපි අහලා තියෙනවා විතරයි. නේද? අපි අහලා තියෙනවා TV එකේ දැකලා තියෙනවා, but we haven't seen the person. When you attend these such conferences, webinars, you get to know them. You get to at least see them. That is some kind of a confidence stream. Right? You can, of course, say, on this day, I attended this webinar and he explained something like this. When you do presentations, you can take those extracts to your presentations and do. Right? So, attending them, network face to face. You can network with them face to face. At least say hi and hello to them. And from this company. And it has been a pleasure listening to you, sir. Listening to you, madam, whatever, right? Likewise, exchange business cards. Exchanging business cards is also going to be very beneficial. You can have contacts with people and join discussions in your area of expertise. So when you attend these kind of workshops, actually not online, I'm talking about face to face, you get to meet new people of your field. Sometimes they might not be the experts, but you will think that is a benefit for you. Of course it is, right? It will take you a very long way in your career. Getting to know other people, right? And then workshops and training. Workshops training what anyway. And because it takes your time, you will think, are you office no, don't think like that, student. If you are given an opportunity to attend a workshop or a training, please go. Right? Just forget about all the other work and attend that because you won't understand how much you improve your skills as a result of attending these workshops and trainings. Networking, completely networking, external networking and internal networking. Participating in educational events creates opportunities to meet others who are committed to learning and development in the same area. Also, engage in informational interviews. For an example, reach out by advice. Now, in that video also, it said you can go and talk to these people. Don't take much of their time, right? Not to talk to this personal information. Just have hi, how are you? And one or two questions from them, right? So talking to them, reach out for advice from these kind of expertise will help you to go a very long way in your career. So contact professionals or leaders in your field and ask for informational interviews. These meetings are an opportunity to learn about someone's career, share your goals, and establish rapport. Rapport means the relationship, right? You will be able to establish a relationship with them. Be genuine. So focus on building relationships rather than just seeking something in return. Then ගොඩාක් අය මම මේ එක සිද්ධියක් කියන්න. ඒකේ so there was an invitee a program එකට කෙනෙක්ට invite කරලා එන්න කිව්වා. He was one of these big shots in one of these television companies. හරි. එතකොට ඒ දැන් යාව මෙහෙම අතුල්ට ගේන්න අපි we can organizing team එකේ කෙනෙක් යවුවා ඒ වැඩ කර හිටපු clerical staff එකේ කෙනෙක්ව යවුවා යාව ගිහිල්ලා අරන් එන්න. මොකද it was heavily raining. ටිකක් දුරයි. යා වාහනේ නවත්තපු තැන ඉඳන් to come to the place. So what this person did was අර උඩේ අරන් එන ටිකට අර මනුස්සයාට ගිහිල්ලා දුන්න CV එක. CV එක දුන්නා යා රන් එක්කෙනෙක්ගේ CV එක දුන්නා අර office එකේ sorry මේ මම කිව්වේ TV television company එකක එක්කෙනෙක් he was a big shot. So අර උඩේ අරන් එන ටිකට මොකද්ද කරන්නේ? මේ මගේ ළමයාව දාලා දෙන්නකෝ කියලා අර එක දුන්නා. He was from the clerical staff. Just imagine the embarrassment the organizing team goes through when they get to know that this person gave a CV to that person who came to do a presentation in that organization. So that's why most of the people build up connections in order to take something. That's not how things should be. It's not that you are building up connections to take return from them. It's that you are building connections for you to grow as a person. Right? ඒගොල්ලෝගේ උදව්වක් ගන්න නෙමෙයි මේ connections අපි හදාගන්නේ. අපි ඒ connections හදාගන්නේ අපි දියුණු වෙන්න. That's what you have to remember. Right? So here be genuine. Focus on building relationships rather than just seeking something in return. Don't expect anything from those people. People appreciate authentic curiosity. Most of the people, they really like if you are curious to learn something new. They like when you admire them. They like when you take them as mentors. Right? So authentic curiosity and will be more willing to offer guidance and connections if they feel valued. Of course, people are there to guide you, right? But don't seek unnecessary favors from those people. Then, of course, what will happen is that those relationships will just break out, right? Then, next one, be a good listener. When it comes to the different techniques that you need to have when it comes to developing effective networking. The other one is be a good listener. Be a person who listens rather than speaking. Right? Active listening. Focus on understanding the perspective perspectives and needs of others during conversations. People value those who listen attentively and engage thoughtfully, which helps you build stronger relationships. So actually, when it comes to present, right, today, most of the people are good at speaking rather than listening. So you have to be a person who listens rather than speaking a lot. Okay? So be a good listener, active listener. Next one, ask open-ended questions. හැමතිස්සෙම ප්‍රශ්නකට අනික් අයගේ yes or no උත්තර නෙමෙයි. ටිකක් elaborative open-ended questions තමයි. When you want to ask from your mentors and the people that you admire. Encourage others to share more by asking open-ended questions. This shows genuine interest and helps you to establish deeper connections. So, the answers are going to be elaborated. It will build up deeper connections, right? And then attend networking events or meetups. Formal and informal networking events. Attend or industry networking events where you can meet new people, exchange business cards, and engage in casual conversations. Events like meetups or informal gatherings help you connect in less structured environments. Speed networking. What do you mean by speed networking? Similar to speed dating, this is structured form of networking that participants engage in quick timed conversations. That's it. They're engaged in quick conversations. Just here and there, you know, they share their conversations. That is a very good way of networking, speed networking, right? For an example, hi, I'm this person from this company, and it was nice listening to you. That's more than enough. Do you understand? Not that you sit there and, you know, take him a ride and, you know, talking everything. No, that's not how it should be. Speed networking, right? It's an efficient way to meet a large number of people in a short time. You can work with many people within a short period of time. Focus on building mutually beneficial relationships. Benefit when a relationship build up, right? If before you get there, they are expect to listen. Always give something first before you think of getting something from them. Focus on helping others without expecting immediate returns. Provide assistance, share resources, or offer introductions to people who can help them. In return, people will be more likely to help you when the need arises. Be a connector. Help people in your network connect with others who can benefit from their expertise or services. This positions you as a valuable connector in your network. So you be a person who brings these resources when it comes to networking. Be a person who brings resources for networking. Right? That is what you mean by be a connector. And then digital media and social media networking. I think this is my last topic. I have been shouting from 3 o'clock. Let's take a 5-minute break and start. Huh? So this is my last topic. Okay. Digital media and social media networking, and these poor girls, they have been waiting here. They need a break. They are. Not that. I did not mean that. Shall we mark attendance then? Oh, okay. What happened?
And voice is mute means on here.
So once today's topic is done, I will put the topics, the relevant topics. That means two topics from each session that I have done. And then you have to get ready for that to speak for about 1 minute. That's all. Nothing much for 1 minute. And then in minimum, there's going to be 10 topics. There's going to be 10 topics. Don't think I'm not updated. I'm very well updated. Okay. Up to date. Why can't I see the session? Great, Vinasha. Who comes to lead this for business communication? No, lead this Vishwanika comes. Yes. Okay. Girls, you also contribute. Weekends also you should. Proper in the weekend, right? Yeah. If we do formal writing part two, if we do formal writing part two, we did part one. Part one we did, right? Formal writing. Yes, we could not do that. And I was planning to do. You said no. Yes, you said no. You can't. You did. Okay, where those actually are. We'll finish this quickly and we'll start formal writing because we have a lot to do this time, students. Remember, unlike in semester one, you have so many things to do. We have to write a business proposal, we have to write reports, proposals, interpretation of graphs and charts. There are so many things to do, right? Therefore, we'll quickly finish this off and get to formal writing. I have to start with discourse markers. We'll start with discourse markers and then we'll come to the tute, right? So let's look at digital media and social media networking, the final part of my presentation. Here, digital media and social media networking have transformed the way individuals and businesses build relationships, share knowledge, and grow their influence. Right? So, unlike it was in the past, as a result of digital media and social media networking, now the networking, both internal and external networking, has changed. Right? That is undoubtedly we have to believe. So, here, the digital media and social media networking have transformed the way individuals and businesses build relationships, share knowledge, and grow their influence. They offer powerful platforms to connect with people from around the world. So, what do they offer us? They offer us the opportunity to connect with people, network with people, right? Around the world, exchange ideas and create opportunities for professional and personal growth. Below is a breakdown of how digital media and social media networking work, their importance and best practices for leveraging them effectively. What do you mean by leveraging? Means increasing, improving them effectively. So when it comes to digital media networking, digital media encompasses all forms of content and communication tools that exist in digital format. Any information that comes under a digital format are called digital media networking, right? And then it focuses on using these tools to reach out to others, establish connections and foster relationships in the digital world, right? Key channels of digital media networking. What are the key channels that we have to network under digital media? Blogs and articles, right? We have blogs and articles to communicate, network. Publishing blog posts or articles related to your expertise allows you to share valuable insights and engage with others in your industry. By commenting on or sharing others' posts, you can build relationships and grow your network. Email newsletters. Regularly sending curated information, updates and insights via email helps establish authority to stay connected with people in your professional network. So, sending newsletters is another way of networking. So, you let other people know what has happened within your organization during that month. Normally, we send newsletters monthly. So, you let know other organizations what has happened during that month in your organization. Even CA now has a newsletter. Podcasts and webinars. Hosting or participating in podcasts and webinars enables you to share your knowledge with wider audience while connecting with like-minded professionals. So you yourself can share your ideas while gaining knowledge from others as well as a result of networking here through digital platforms. Now, previously, what did we discuss? We discussed about internal and external networking. Now, here we are discussing how to network using digital platforms, right? Company websites and forums. If a company has a website, they can, of course, network with their customers using that website. Online shopping is one of them, right? Networking once again. Engaging in industry forums or participating in online communities on your company's website can help you network with peers and potential clients. You sometimes, now suppose customers purchase something online and then they take note of their personal details and they can share their new products, anything that comes in their company that introduces newly in their company to those clients, right? The only qualification is that they have purchased their products beforehand. So likewise, they can use these websites and forums. When it comes to benefits of digital media networking, the first one is wider reach. Then external internal networking වගේ නෙවෙයි ඒකේ අපි ටිකට් කෙනානේ යන්නේ one by one. When it comes to digital media networking, students, of course, there is a wider reach. You can reach to number of people than internal and external networking, than physical networking, right? So digital platforms allow you to connect with individuals globally, significantly expanding the scope of your network. And then access to valuable content. Sometimes when you network internally face-to-face, you might not have access to this valuable content. But when you network with others through digital platforms, of course, you will be given access to valuable content, right? By regularly sharing and consuming relevant content, you can stay informed about industry trends and create meaningful conversations with others. Personal branding. Digital media allows you to shape and promote your personal or business brand by creating and sharing content that resonates with your target audience. So, of course, we can boost advertisements of our companies, and we can allow we can make it reach to our clients, right? So that is also personal branding can be done by how can you do personal branding? There are so many ways. If you talk about personal branding, it's going to be again once another separate lesson. But then again, you can show your base, the friends or maybe the followers, what are the engagements that you have engaged in. Suppose you receive a degree or a master's degree or any other achievement, publishing a research paper, or conducting a workshop, you can put them in your social media and let your followers know what you do, right? So that is another kind of personal branding which can be done as a result of digital platforms, right? And then social media networking. What are they? Social media networking refers to the practice of using platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and others to create and maintain relationships with people, groups, or organizations. So, especially when it comes to social media, these are the platforms that we use to network. All right. So, key platforms for social media networking. The first one is, of course, LinkedIn. Right? LinkedIn is the first and foremost one that we can use for social media networking. And the next one is Twitter. Now, of course, it's with a different name, but of course, all of us know it as Twitter. And then Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and also TikTok. I don't see actually TikTok as a platform that is useless, right? It is a very good platform if you use it for learning purposes, because to be honest, I have learned so many things because of some of these TikTok videos. I have learned about trends, everyday trends that people go through. I have sometimes learned how to cook some of the dishes very quickly. දැන් අර අපේ අම්මා එවන ඒවා බලනකොට ළමයි පැය දෙක තුනක් යනවා හරි පොද්දක් හදා. දැන් අනේක බැලුවා නම් ටක් ගාලා විනාඩි දෙකට බලා ගන්න පුළුවන් කොහොමද ඒක හදන්නේ කියලා. Do you understand? So TikTok is very good. Actually, if you use it for right purpose. Right? Do you understand? If you use it for right purpose, even for entertainment, TikTok is fine. But I think there should be some limit when it comes to the users of TikTok. Other than that, it's a good platform, for entertainment, and also not only for that, for education, right? So here, that is there. So I'm not going to explain this in detail. You can read about it, and of course, you know about it, right? Benefits of social media networking. Once again, consistent engagement. Now, for an example, students, if you are a TikToker, let's take, if you are a TikToker, of course, there is a consistent engagement with your fan base, right? You will have to update them every day. You will be posting them. You will be making them aware of what you do. So there is a consistent engagement with you and your fan base. So as a company, if you have a TikTok account, so of course you can inform your fans about what's happening within your company. And also by following other organizations, you can get to know updates of them. Right? So consistent engagement, regularly like, comment, share, or retweet posts that resonate with your values or expertise. So I think in TikTok, normally if you follow or if you watch a video, similar videos will pop up, right? So there are things like that. Engaging with others' content helps strengthen relationships and shows that you are genuinely interested. Personalized connection requests. So you can, of course, no need to have everyone in your profile, or you don't have to follow everybody that is there in the social media platforms. You can have people that you want to have in your accounts, right? That is what you call personalized connection requests. When connecting with someone on platforms like LinkedIn, always personalize your connection request. A brief introduction and a specific reason for connecting make it more likely for your request to be accepted. So, of course, if you make them aware why you want to connect with them, of course, they will accept you in LinkedIn, right? Join groups and communities. Many social platforms host groups or communities where people share industry-related content, ask questions, and engage in discussion. I will tell you my own experience. Actually, I found my transport to CA every day from one of these Facebook groups. That is once again business, right? So when they have groups, they reach them, they contact them, and then they get their customers. That is a very good way of doing that. Otherwise, how can we, get the numbers of these transport services and all that? That's all hassle. But when there's one group that provides all these facilities, we can reach the person that we want, right? Likewise, here, join these groups to expand your network and provide valuable input. Content sharing. Share content that highlights your expertise, insights, or personal experiences. This can spark discussions and help you attract like-minded professionals to your network. So you can share posts, blogs, and other content that is relevant to your thinking pattern or relevant to your field. So the people who have similar interests will like them and start following you as well, right? Then you will have a better reach and you will get to know more people and they will get to know who you are, right? Utilize hashtags. On platforms like Twitter, Instagram, or LinkedIn, using relevant hashtags helps your post reach a larger targeted audience. Even on TikTok, it is the same, right? Hashtags make it easier to find and engage with relevant content. Follow and interact with influencers. I'm talking about these positive influencers. Now, today, of course, everyone is an influencer, right? That is not what it should be. But what I'm trying to tell here is the real influencer that can change your life to better, right? So engage with industry leaders. That's what I'm talking about here as influencer. Uh, Engage with industry leaders, thought leaders, and influencers by commenting on their posts or sharing their content. This can help you gain visibility and learn from experts. So if you start following them, you will learn a lot from them as well, students. So these are some of the ways that you can use these digital platforms to network. Do you understand? These are some of the ways that you can use these digital platforms to network. Remember, when it comes to networking, of course, you have to use these social media platforms for entertainment. But remember, you have a goal in life, right? You should have a goal in life. In order to reach that goal, make sure your networking also gives you some help, support for you to reach that goal. Do you understand? It's all right. You can use these networking. What is this? These platforms for entertainment. That's completely fine. But don't forget the goal that you have in your life. Use these digital platforms in order to improve yourself, to make sure that you grow every day by following these areas that I told you. Now, what were we talking until up to now? We were talking about networking first, right? And then we discuss what networking is in general, right? And then we were talking about key aspects of networking, right? How will networking help us in general? Here I have included both external and internal networking, both, right? In general, I had taken some points. And then we discussed about the importance of internal networking. Then we discuss about the importance of external networking. After that, we watch the video and then we discuss different techniques available in developing effective networks. What are the techniques that can help us to develop networking? And then we discussed about digital media and social media networking, right? Which is a very timely topic to discuss because this is how most of the time, most of us interact today, right? Rather than face-to-face networking. And there we discuss about digital media networking and we discussed the benefits of digital media. Remember the difference between digital media and social media. They are two different, right? Even the examples you can see. So the benefits of digital media networking, and then we focused on social media networking, and we discussed about the benefits of social media networking. Right? That is what I have for you today. Right? Any questions before we go to the next one? Any questions? Let me see. My students joining online, is everything all right with you? Good. Are you with me? Shamudini? Sajid? Okay, yeah, the Surya is there. Right, great. All right. I will anyway make sure to upload this presentation. Right. Now, any questions? No. No question is the question. We are going to do discourse markers. Actually, I thought of doing this before starting formal writing because this will be helpful to you when it comes to your writing. But the thing is, you don't apply this knowledge when it comes to your writing. Now, today onwards, you have to apply this knowledge in your writing. Do you understand? Right? So here I am talking about discourse markers. This is not a very big lesson, a very small, short one. Pay attention to the words in bold. Do you know what they are called and why they are used in writing? Therefore, however, and meanwhile. Okay, here I have given three words. Therefore, however, meanwhile. These are called linking words or discourse markers. These are used to maintain cohesion within and between paragraphs. Cohesion means the flow of the paragraphs, right? So, if we see someone using moreover, we know that they are trying to add some more information to the given information, isn't it? If someone says, furthermore, once again, the same idea, adding information. But if someone says, in contrary, then we know that passage is talking about something completely opposite to what has been talking. Right? So that is why discourse markers are important. It maintains the cohesion of your writing. Okay? Cohesion within and between paragraphs. Look at this example. In accounting, the system of determination of funds, that is income and expenditure, is based on the accrual system. However, now when we see however, we understand that we are going to discuss something opposite to what we have been discussing, right? However, in finance, the system of determination of funds is based on cash flows, right? Transitional signals and other linking expressions help in many ways when writing a paragraph. So we call them transitional words as well. Why? Because these phrases help the paragraphs to go through transitions. For an example, if we want to talk about something completely opposite to the previous paragraph, we start by using one of these transitional words and then write what we want to mention, what we want to write. To put the ideas in some kind of order. අපිට order එකකට ideas ටික ගලාගෙන යන විදිහට ලියන්න ඕන නම් these will be very helpful to us. To link, connect ideas. To emphasize the necessary points. So when we say furthermore, that word itself has a reference to something that has been said previously. Furthermore, කිව්වහම එතන තියෙනවා ඉස්සෙල්ලා mention කරපු එකකට සම්බන්ධකම. There is a relationship that has been mentioned before, right? So link and connect ideas to emphasize the necessary points. Look at this. Here I have given you a list of discourse markers, transitional verbs. Adding. When you want to add ideas of similar meaning, and ideas of similar meaning, you can use these words. And as well as, moreover, furthermore, in addition to, on top of that, and another point is, if you want to come up with sequence, that means order. First of all, you can say first, have to do this. Second, this is how it should be done. So you show a sequence, one after the other. Secondly. Third, next, meanwhile, now, subsequently, finally, at the end, you can use it, right? Illustrating. Illustrating means if you want to come up with some illustrations. For example, you are giving some illustrations, you are giving some examples, such as, for instance, in the case of as shown by the diagram, illustrated by the diagram chart. So these are useful when it comes to interpretation of data. When we learn interpretation of graphs and charts, right? Take one example is likewise. If you want to elaborate illustrations, you can use them. Comparing. If you want to compare, similarly කියනවා අපි සිංහලෙන් කියනවා නම් ඒ වගේම කියන එක. කියපු එක වගේම තව දෙයක් කියන්න ඕන නම් you can use similarly. Likewise, as with, like, equally, in the same way. Qualifying. But, however, that means if we want to talk about something different, unless, except, apart from, as long as, and if. Contrasting. We have been discussing about something and now we want to shift to a completely different opinion. Whereas, alternatively, unlike, on the other hand, you can use some of these as well here, right? Conversely, having said that, nevertheless, however, cause and effect. If you want to give reasons to something, because of, as a result of, now suppose when you are interpreting graphs and charts, you can say as a result of the downward, we can say we'll say like this, as a result of the drop of the use of mobile phones in this particular area, this has happened. So you want to come up with reasons. Because of, as a result of, consequently, therefore, thus, owing to, and due to. Summary. When you are coming towards the end of a writing, you can use these phrases, summarizing. In short, on the whole, in other words, in the whole, overall, generally, in general, in brief, finally, in conclusion, there are so many can use. And emphasizing, if you want to emphasize something, above all, in particular, especially, significantly, indeed, and notably. Right? So now, what I want you to do is, when you are writing, you have to make sure to use them. Right? Don't just write in the way that you write every day. Make use of these transitional verbs when you are writing, especially when it comes to your fourth year, when you are doing your thesis, and not only when you are doing your thesis, for other assignments as well. To make your writing beautiful, don't overuse them, but use them in a way that it will make your writing beautiful, right? Make your writing flow beautifully. Look at this. Tell me the answers for this one. Tell me the answers. First one, exercise. Huh? What? Girls, tell me. Exercise. Come on. What is it? But also, not only releases frustration, but also makes you feel about yourself. Many people who work say that. Please mute your mics. It's okay, I did not understand. Yes? Okay. Exercise. Okay. Many people who work say that they do not have time to exercise. But exercise opportunities are all around us. You can get off the bus or park your car in the farthest place available and then walk to your students. Right. Simple as that. So that's the end of these course markers. Right? We have some more. Okay. Actually, I was planning to do this last week, but I could not. Right? That's why I have put the date here last week. Read it and say. Read it. Writing is a versatile tool for communication, and the style we choose often depends on the context, audience, and purpose of our message. So remember, students, when you are engaging in formal writing, always you have to first think about the context, the audience, and the purpose of your message. Now, for an example, you are a group of students who are learning accounting, right? If I come here and take examples from the field of agriculture, then of course, I have not thought about my audience, right? Always when you are giving a message, you have to be very concerned about the context. Whether you are addressing a group of adults, whether you are addressing a group of school children, what? And then the audience, from which field are they, right? And then the purpose. Are you doing this for academic purposes? Are you doing this for entertainment? Are you doing this as a motivational session for them? You have to look into these areas before engaging in business writing. Now here we are talking about writing, right? Two common types of writing that differ in tone, structure, and language are formal and informal writing. Okay. Formal writing is typically used in professional, academic, or official settings, where the goal is to convey information in a clear, precise, and respectful manner. Okay, always you have to maintain the respectful tone when it comes to formal writing. Okay, now suppose you are writing a letter of complaint. Still, you have to maintain the respectful tone, right? You can be angry as hell, but then you have to maintain the professional tone, right? That is important. This style prioritizes objectivity and professionalism. So formal writing always prioritizes two things. What is the first one? Objectivity. Objectivity can always formal writing go with data and facts. You don't insert emotions there. You don't insert your thoughts there. You don't insert what you think, your opinions there. No. In formal writing, you have to always go with data and facts. Next one is professionalism. Maintain the professional tone. Those two are very important when it comes to formal writing, right? Normally, we don't use I think in formal writing. Okay, except for literature or something like that, you can say I think. But when it comes to formal writing, we don't use such terms. Using complete sentences, sophisticated vocabulary, and more structured impersonal tone. Impersonal means you don't personalize the tone. That means you don't use phrases like I think, I believe, likewise. Okay, always you have to say according to the data, according to the research, or according to the graph given above, likewise. Formal writing is commonly found in business communications, academic papers, official documents, and reports, where the writer aims to inform, persuade, or explain in a way that reflects authority and credibility. Credibility means the people who are reading your writing should be able to trust what you write. Credibility කියන කනිවාරයෙන්ම තියෙන්න ඕනේ formal writing වල. හිතන ඒවා ලියන්න බෑ. Your opinions, data without a proper foundation, you can't insert them. Always your writing should be credible, right? And then in contrast, how about informal writing? Informal writing is more relaxed than conversation. But that doesn't mean we don't use informal writing. Now, for an example, when it comes to writing emails, we use semi-formal tone. Don't we? Do we always write emails in the formal tone? No, we write in semi-formal tone as well emails. We do that. But informal writing is more relaxed than conversational. It is used in personal communication such as emails, text messages, blogs, or social media posts where the tone is friendly and direct. Informal writing embraces the use of contractions, slang, and colloquial language. Colloquial language means like everyday language. For an example, we say, you know, I want to become this person one day, right? You know, the everyday language that you use. Creating a sense of familiarity and closeness between the writer and the reader. So, if you write very informally, it shows the closeness that you have with the reader of what you have written. But when it comes to formal writing, you don't show any closeness to the reader of your writing, right? And then it is more flexible in structure and allows for creativity, humor, and personal expression. Remember, when it comes to informal writing, students, we do not actually follow a particular format. But when it comes to formal writing, of course, we do. For an example, if you do write a research paper, there is a format. If you write an email, there is a format. If you write a formal letter, there is a format. Business letter, report, everything there is a particular format that you have to follow. Whereas in informal writing, that is not the case, right? It is more flexible in structure and allows for creativity, humor, and personal expression. Informal writing is often less concerned with strict grammar. So actually, we do not go for strict grammar in informal writing. But when it comes to formal writing, of course, we have to follow strict grammar, right? Rules and more focused on creating a comfortable and approachable message. Both styles serve important functions in different contexts. Don't forget that we use both forms when it comes to communicating, right? We use both. But what you have to understand is that you should know in which situation we use these forms, I mean these types, right? In which situation to use informal writing, informal speaking, in which situation to use formal writing and formal speaking, right? Whether you are drafting a formal letter to a potential employer or sending a casual message to a friend, choosing the right style enhances clarity and overall impact of your writing. Now, suppose you are sending an email to one of your friends, right? Somebody who you know very well. And of course, are you going to draft it in a way that you send an email to a CEO? No. Actually, it will be very informal or rather semi-formal, and the vocabulary would be very familiar and very subjective. So, of course, you can use those writing, but always it depends according to the person, context, and the audience that you send. Let's look at the tone and voice when it comes to formal writing. I'm not going to read the informal part. In each and every example, I have given informal writing as well. But I'm not going to read that part. I will only focus on formal writing. Okay? You can read the rest. Formal writing, the tone is professional, respectful, and objective. What do you mean by objective? Objective means there are no personal opinions. Always it depends on facts and data, right? Objective, that means data that can be proved. That's what we call objective. It avoids slang, contractions, and colloquial expressions. The language is more serious and detached. The report will outline the key findings of the study and provide recommendations for further research. Look at that sentence. It's very, it maintains a very professional tone and also very objective, no personal opinions there, right? And then audience. When it comes to formal writing, typically used in professional, academic, or official contexts where the audience is expected to be more serious or formal, such as in business communications, academic papers, official documents, or formal letters. So when it comes to formal writing, and when you consider about the audience is serious and formal, right? You can't come up with humor in formal writing. You have to be very serious, very professional, and to the point. Okay? Sentence structures. How about the sentences that you are going to write? Sentences are often longer, more complex, and carefully constructed. Okay? The words should be correctly spelled. The grammar should be correct. Punctuation marks properly used. Capitalization is done accordingly. Right? You have to be very serious with the sentence structures. There is a preference for full sentences and more sophisticated vocabulary. Of course, you can use more sophisticated, more heavy vocabulary and also sentences that are full sentences, not phrases or half sentences. For an example here, the implementation of the new policy has resulted in a significant increase in employee productivity as evidenced by recent performance reports. So according to the performance reports, they say the new policy has made the productivity levels of the employees increasing, right? Grammar and vocabulary. Strong adherence to proper grammar rules with precise and advanced vocabulary. It avoids contractions. For an example, you don't say can't, you say cannot. And also, Television instead of TV, you don't say TV, but you say television. Always you use the expanded term rather than the contracted term, right? Example, I cannot express enough how important it is to follow the guidelines in this document. Cannot. The word cannot, right? Next one, contractions. Avoid contractions. So this is what we discussed. Use of personal pronouns. Men make a very important. Even I can remember when I was marking your answers at the examination, I saw many of you using personal pronouns. Can you remember I told you when I was teaching this, when I was explaining formal writing in my previous lessons in first semester, that means students, you don't personalize or you don't you don't personalize what you are trying to express here. For an example, let's say, okay, let me tell you a good example. Can you remember the video I showed you on the very first day to write a summary? Can you remember that video? I asked you to write a summary by looking at that video. So I gave the same to one of my previous batches, right? Some of the students had said, so that video was about 12 healthy habits to maintain a positive mindset or whatever. No? So, you know, they have written there, I asked them to summarize the content of that video and write the summary of it. What they have done is they have said, you have to eat healthy food. You have to do regular exercises as if I have to do them. When I was reading, they have said, you have to exercise every day. You have to eat healthy food. Do you get my point? Right? So, I was very offended. Of course, I know that I have to do it. But then again, it's not nice to write like that. Okay, to my face, using personal pronouns. And also, what do they do is, I think. Your thinking is not relevant to formal writing, right? We only want daytime facts. So here, may use personal pronouns like we, I, you, but often in a more impersonal or distant way. I'm not saying you have to completely forget about using personal pronouns. No, that's not what I mean. But remember, in formal writing, we try to avoid using personal pronouns as much as possible. It doesn't mean that we don't. We do, but very less, in very less situations, right? Occasions. It focuses more on the subject matter than the writer or reader. So actually, rather than reading the opinions of the writer, what people concern is about the facts and the data. Therefore, writing personal pronouns is not necessary. For an example, look at this one. I think we should need to discuss this project. No, my opinion is not really relevant here. You can say the findings of this report suggest that improvements are needed in the current system. Rather than saying, I think the report suggests that improvements are needed, you can say the findings of this report suggest that improvements are needed in the current system. Don't personalize. Don't use personal pronouns when it comes to writing formal writings, right? Abbreviations and slang. So abbreviations like USA, CEO are universal abbreviations that everybody know what it means. Other than that, students, there are abbreviations that some of the people might not know. For an example, in your field, you may have some abbreviations which other people from other fields not know. So when you are engaging in formal writing, in the first line that you use the abbreviation, always make sure to expand it and write. And then you can use the abbreviation later. But in the first situation where you use the abbreviation, make sure to write the meaning of that abbreviation, or rather the expanded version of the abbreviation. Avoid abbreviations unless they are standard and widely accepted like USA or CEO. And slang. Slang means like I have heard some people say OMG, oh my God, right? That means when they are talking, they say OMG as if they want to, just save that time also. So no need of that. And then purpose, formal writing. Purpose often used to inform, argue, explain, provide detailed analysis in a structured manner. It seeks to maintain professionalism, clarity, and accuracy. And then here, after that, I have given you a summarized version of what we discussed here, formal writing and informal writing. When it comes to formal writing, I will read only this part. We build long and complex sentences, whereas in informal writing, sentences are short and simple. We do not use contractions. We would use cannot instead of and can't. We can use any person first, second, or third. Anything we can use here when it comes to informal. We do not use colloquial language, slang, or common everyday vocabulary in formal writing. But in informal writing, we can use colloquial language, slang, everyday vocabulary. We use the vocabulary of higher level and terminology. We use simple vocabulary. We do not use phrasal verbs. We rephrase them. We can use phrasal verbs in formal writing. In informal writing. We use the passive voice. We do not use emotional language and we follow the rules of the traditional syntax and punctuation. Always remember to use punctuation, right? Correct punctuation in the correct situation. And then, this one, informal sentences. I think I did this with you students. Huh? We did this one. I can remember in that class, no? Was that? We did this one. I can remember. I read this like 2-3 weeks ago. I did not have any second semester class. We did this one. I think we did up to this point, if I'm not wrong. Happy May point activity. This one. We didn't do this activity. Hold that. Very good. We did do this one also. Make it correct then. Look at this one. Look at this one, students. No, we did this. We did this. I can remember. I think in my first class I did this. Yeah.
First class का फिर video
I did this. Anyway, it's okay. Look at this email, students. Now I'm over at the QR. I'll tell you. Man QR, වැඩ ඔක්කොම පැත්තකින් තියලා business communication formal writing බලාගන්න කියලා මතක නේ වාක්‍ය. ඇත්තද? එදා the first part. මට මතකයි මේ වයසට මට මතකයි මේගොල්ලන්ට මතකයි. හරි ෂෝ. අපේ වයසට එනකොට ඩිමෙන්ෂියා වගේ ඉන්නවා. Look at this one. Now look at these two email students. කරා නේද?
හරි මිස් මේක රෙකෝඩ් වෙලා තියෙන YouTube එක බලන්න.
දැන් YouTube බලන්න මේක බලන්න. දැන් මම කිව්වේ right? Now in this email, right, that day I told you to forget all your subjects and focus on formal writing. Now look at this one. Hey John, just a heads up. The company is changing the remote work policy starting next month. If you need to work from home, make sure to follow the new procedure to request it. Let me know if you have any questions. Cheers and Jay. Right? students? How formal that is when compared to the previous one? So this is the difference between formal and informal writing. Okay. All right. That is the difference. So what did I tell you? I told you that the words are, the vocabulary is going to be sophisticated with complete sentences. And also there is a format to be followed. Can you see? The format. Now, of course, this is an email. So you have best regards. Right? You have best regards. And of course, it should start, the salutation should be very formal. And the concluding, the complimentary clause should be formal. But how about this one here? It's not formal at all. Right? Compare this with this email. Okay, that is the difference between formal and informal writing. So you have done this before, right? You have done this in your first semester. But remember, you have to keep on practicing formal writing because throughout your life as accountants, as the students who are in this field, you will have to engage in this writing. Exam එකට විතරක් නෙමෙයි. Degree ඉවර වෙනකම් ඊට පස්සේ degree එකෙන් පස්සෙනුත් when you engage in your duties, you will have to use this language. Therefore, students, please focus and practice using formal language in your everyday life. Okay. Now, what we are going to do is, have I uploaded this tute? Huh?
You did.
In that tute, see, can you show me that tute, please? Have I uploaded the answers to this one? Scroll down and see. Here, without looking at the answers, right? Balame answers, right? Just be patient. Right? Try to do this activity. Don't look at the answers. Actually, I have uploaded it for your reference only, for further reference. Try to do this activity now. This is a letter. What should you do? Acme Body Shapers has received a serious complaint from a customer. Now here we are practicing formal writing once again. This is an activity related to formal writing. Okay? Acme Body Shapers has received a serious complaint from a customer. Sentences A to G are from the customer's letter of complaint. So from A to G. Here, this part is from the customer, right? And then H to N from Acme Body Shapers reply to his complaint. Now this part is what Acme Shapers has written to the customer as a reply. H to N. Okay. What you have to do is put the sentences of the two letters in the correct order. Write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and see which letters should come to them. That's all you have to do. Try to do it now. Don't look at the answer. Just do it now. See what parts should come there. As the first, now you know how to write a formal letter, business letter. First part is from the customer, second part is from Acme Body Shapers. See how those parts can be assigned according to the order. බලන්න කොහොමද කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා. ඊට පස්සේ answers ටික බලන්න. Students who are joining online can also do this. I have uploaded the chair. Don't look at the answers, all right? Here only you have A to D. I cannot. I don't think I will be able to minimize it for you to see everything. Can you see? I don't think so. If you can see it like this, then look at the board and do. See how the letter has been drafted and the vocabulary in the letter. This now when you look at this one, what should be the first part in the customer's letter? Huh? By looking at this one, tell me. Of course, it should be I'm writing to complain about, isn't it? That is how you start a letter. I'm writing to complain about. And then how about here? I'm writing in reply to your letter, isn't it? That is how the letter should be started in business writing. Okay? Hi, I'm ready to go. Do it. But we need to do some listening. No, shall we do some listening? What? Listening की not करोगे? हाँ? आज भी है
So we can
Done You can check your answers. Of course, I know you may have written there. Not look at this one. You looked at this and wrote the answer. I know you. All right, everyone. So most probably, I will not be able to come next week. We'll see. If I can shift the class to Saturday, I'll come. Otherwise, week after, I will post the topics for speeches. Be ready with that. I will be doing the first assignment on the date that I shall mention in the LMS. Be ready. Huh?
Amen.
Okay, everyone. I'll see you then later. Thank you so much. Thank you, my students, for coming online. I'll see you later. Have a good day. Good night.